Hello, Sandman Nation. What a great day to talk sports and more with two of my close friends. It's also a great day to not be James Franklin, although I guess he did just get paid $50 million to not coach. So I think he's doing okay as well. Either way, it is always a great day to enter Sandman Sports. So let's do it. With me, as usual, are two of the best in the business, Mr. Pat Klett and the one and only Mr. Bill Sanders, affectionately known to all of us as the Sandman. Great to see both you boys again. How we doing today?
Living large.
Well. Yeah. Living large. Okay.
Good. Go M's.
Living medium.
Yeah, those Mariners. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll talk about those M's a little bit later in the show. But for now, let's jump right into the random questions of the day. Bill, you get to go first this week, which means you get the slightly tougher open-ended one, but I'll ask it to you, give you a minute to think about it as I go over to Pat, ask him his, and then we'll get back to you. Okay, you ready? Here we go.
Ready.
If animals could talk, which one would be the rudest and which one would be the most polite? Okay. If animals could talk, which would be the rudest, which would be the most polite? All right. You think on that. And Pat, here's yours. I've been waiting all day to ask this to you. If you could
I'm married.
If you could become a fart, would you rather be the loud and proud type or the silent but deadly type?
It's interesting. I mean, this is a question that my God, Eric, grow up. You just grow up.
I told you, I've been waiting for this all day.
No, silent but deadly. Silent assassin. That's, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to make your appearance known? You don't want to just be like, hey, world.
No, I want to sneak up on people, smoke them out.
All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Bill. If animals could talk, which one would be the rudest?
Well, this part I felt like was easy. The second one, though, I'm still stumped. It's got to be a howler monkey. Have you guys been around these things? They just sit up in the tree. They just like fling shit at you and just scream.
Are they the ones that threw shit at Kramer in Seinfeld? Where they got in the?
I don't remember that episode. I don't remember that episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're just nasty critters. They're up there just out of reach. They're just making life miserable for you from a distance. I mean, they're just horrible, horrible little creatures. They're not like the nice monkeys, where you're like, oh, jump on my shoulder. Oh, here's a peanut, or something. It's like, no, these things are just.
Okay. So howler monkeys would be dicks.
Howler monkeys.
Which would you want to invite over for some tea and crawlers, Bill?
I keep coming back to it's got to be a panda. Like, aren't they just like the cuddliest, nicest creatures?
Pandas seem pretty. Yeah, they'd be polite, probably.
Yeah, they're like, give me some bamboo. I'm gonna chill and we'll just have a little chat. Yeah, I'm going pandas. Pandas, and not the kung fu type, just the normal.
Yeah,
normal pandas. Yeah.
All right. Well, there we are, and we are definitely loud and proud and always polite on our website. So be sure to check us out at sandmansports.com. We have so much incredible content, guys. We're really proud of it. So if you like insightful sports and betting related articles, videos, and of course this podcast, go to our website and follow us on our social media at Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, all at Enter Sandman Sports. We have so much stuff, guys, around college and pro football. We're really starting to crank out some NBA and college basketball previews too. A lot there since we're getting closer to tip-off. I won't list it all here, but I do want to call out one really cool recent article, guys. It's from our Fringe writers who just wrote such an interesting piece about the emergency goalie rule in the NHL. And they spotlight one of the more recent few years ago, just super cool example of a guy who never thought, just a Joe nobody who ended up playing for the Carolina Hurricanes. And it's one of my favorite. I love the Fringe articles. Love that series. That particular article is one of my favorites. Really well done, guys. All right, guys, let's get into the opening. So last week, my house turned into a Taylor Swift listening party thanks to my daughter and my wife. So yes, I heard the entire new album, and not too bad, I must say. I actually enjoyed most of the songs. Then Taylor seemed to be on every late night talk show, chatting about her engagement with Travis Kelce, even her new track Wood, which apparently is very complimentary to Mr. Kelce in a specific anatomic area. So good for you, Travis and Taylor. I actually like Taylor, guys, and you know how I feel about Travis, not so much, but it just feels like the pop culture universe is definitely orbiting those two right now and have been for quite a while, which just got me thinking, who are some of your favorite all-time celebrity couples and why? They can be long-lasting pairs, they can still be together today, or they can just be short-lived messes, chaotic couples who never really had a chance but were together for a short time. Just give us, I just want to hear from you guys who are some celebrity couples of all time. You can use whatever criteria you want. Like chemistry, story, nostalgia, background, whatever. And then after we share those, on the flip side, I want you to give me one or two that you just can't stand. A couple celebrity couples that really irritate you. But we'll start off with the good. All right, Pat, who do you got? Who do you like? What celebrity couples speak to you?
Yeah, none of them. I do. I have a 15-year-old daughter, so I received a heavy dose of the new Taylor Swift album. Yeah, a couple good ones.
Bad.
Couple good ones. You know, she's all right. But there's you can throw away half that album. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like favorite celebrity couples: Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem. I mean,
that's good.
I like him as an actor, and she's
she's
not ugly.
Easy on the eyes. Yep.
And then maybe the Beckhams, you know?
Yeah.
This posh spites. You
know,
we'll
love
bring
soccer.
some soccer in.
Yeah.
Soccer's so awesome.
Did you really just pick a soccer couple?
Mm-hmm.
I did. And then the only other one I could think of was Faith Hill and Tim McGraw.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, celebrity couples. That's not my. It's not my jam. It's not my thing. You know.
Yeah. Sometimes for our listeners, Pat, we have to stretch our comfort zone. So thank you for doing that.
Look, I'm just gonna be who I am. You know, I'm not gonna pretend. All right, Eric. So
believe me, after 61 episodes, I think everybody knows that.
Okay. Good.
All right, Bill. What do you got?
Yeah, well, I'm similar to Pat in some ways. I mean, like celebrities have never been much on my radar, but not like a gossip hound or anything. But I actually went with the Beckhams as mine, and that's probably not as much of a surprise for you guys with soccer. But have you guys ever seen the Beckham documentary?
Yes, awesome,
so
really
good,
really?
Okay, so good.
Yeah,
Bierman, I know you're not a huge soccer guy, but there's a ton of Posh Spice. They cover her. She is an incredible woman. I had so much respect for her after watching that documentary. And Beckham was not the best husband for quite a while there. And so I thought that it's cool to me for whatever reason to see these celebrity couples kind of fight through the trials and tribulations of marriage like all of us do, right? And they've stuck it out. They made it. Like they're doing great, and I think they have 4 kids and everything. So anyway, I give props to Posh. And Beckham obviously is a very talented dude as well. So that was the one that I went through.
You think they've made it, but if Keith Urban and what's her face can break up,
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, that one. I know.
I thought that was forever.
Yeah, me too.
I know.
Well, guys, you guys know me. I have strong opinions. I can come across as grumpy sometimes. Things irritate me, and when they do, you're going to hear about it. But guys, at the very heart of it all, and down to my very soul, I'm a timeless romantic. I love a good love story, and I want them to last, even for celebrities. It's not an easy life. Yes, they get paid a lot, but they're constantly in the spotlight. Every single thing they do is looked at and judged. And so 2 celebrities being in a relationship with one another, it just has to be so tough to make it last. So my 3 favorites, I got 3, I'll go through these quickly, are ones that have indeed made it last over a very long time and prove that true love does still exist, even in Tinseltown. So we'll start with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. I love them both as actors, so that helps. as a couple, they've been together now 42 years, since 1983. They both welcomed each other's kids with open arms, which I love, both from, all three of those were from previous marriages, notably Kate and Oliver Hudson. But Curt also had a kid from a previous relationship, and then together they have one son named Wyatt. Interestingly, despite being together so long, and by all accounts very much loved, they've never gotten married. So I don't know. Maybe that's the key, guys. I don't know. And then the two others I've always liked for similar reasons are Kevin Bacon and Kyra Sedgwick. They've been married now for 37 years. They have two kids. Also seem to have a nice little storybook type of life going there. And then finally, I do have to give some love. I don't love Sarah Jessica Parker, but I do love Matthew Broderick. They've been married since 97. They have 3 kids. So I had to add them to my list as as a solid number 3. All right, Pat, what about any celebrity couples through time that have just irritated you?
Maybe Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yoko and John.
I actually thought about that one.
I mean, you broke up the Beatles, so that was a problem. And then my all-time favorite, least favorite, is Julia Roberts and Lyle Lovett.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you got a 10 with a 1.
You love Julia Roberts. Yeah, you love Julia Roberts.
I'm such a fan. She's so pretty.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that one was a stretch for me.
Yeah. It's an odd couple.
What about you, Bill?
I went with, do you guys remember Kurt Warner, not Penn State running back for the Seahawks, but Kurt Warner, the quarterback, and his wife, Brenda Warner, who you just could not watch a freaking Rams game without seeing her in her spiky
That's true. I forgot about that.
She was probably is probably a super nice woman. I didn't know her, but I hated Kurt Warner because he was always going against the Seahawks. And then why do we see this? Why do we see this chick? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares about this girl? So that was the one I went with. That was just annoying to me as a Seahawks fan.
Yeah. So 2 come to mind for me for different reasons. One, it's funny because I actually like both Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt separately, but I did not like them together. First, I think I just hated the term Brangelina so much that I could not get past that to even give them a chance. But I don't know. I didn't love how it all transpired. I loved Jennifer Aniston and didn't like seeing her get her heart broken there, and it felt like it was much more of a publicity stunt than anything else for all those years. Now I do like they adopted some kids, which I think is really cool. So, but ended up not working out, and frankly, that didn't make me sad. But guys, my number 1, it's always irritated me. It goes back to 1993 when 25-year-old Julia Roberts, as her popularity was soaring, met frickin' country singer Lyle Lovett, who was 35 after dating for 3 weeks. They got married, stayed married for 2 years before amicably splitting. I was in college at the time. I was about 20 years old. I was only 5 years younger than Julia, guys. And I may have had a small crush on her at the time. And I was like, what the fuck, Julia? What are you doing? I mean, have you actually looked at this guy with the lights on? Seriously. It made no sense to me. It happened way too fast. I didn't like it one bit. And I never wish bad things on anyone, but I'm not too proud to admit I was happy when their marriage fell into shambles 2 years later and Julia became available again. And I'm still not sure why she didn't give me a ring at that time, but whatever. I'm past it. All right, boys. Well, hey, Pat, we just had a nice moment. We just had a.
I thought you were. That was a rhetorical question. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What's the J-Lo and Ben Affleck too? Just annoying. Annoying. I don't know what it is about her.
That actually. Yeah. I don't know. Had I thought of them, that would have been on my list. I cannot stand them.
Yeah. They're just annoying. Yeah.
How about Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly?
Ooh, okay.
There's another one where you're just like, what is she doing?
That's a good one. Yeah.
She must hate. She must hate her parents.
Megan Fox, dude.
Yeah.
She's smoking hot.
What about Transformers, dude? I mean, that might be one of the best.
Man,
I mean,
that was a terrible movie too, and she saved it.
yeah, it was. I don't remember anything about the movie other
What
than
about Angelina
her
Jolie
being in
and
it.
Billy Bob Thornton?
Oh
That's
God,
right.
that was a weird one.
Weren't they drinking each other's blood?
Yeah, they
or
had each
something?
other's
Like,
blood,
yeah.
like in
Dude,
vials or something.
what's happening right now? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so bad. All right, see, I'm rolling now. Let's just
Yeah,
keep
I
this
know.
going.
Yeah, you got it.
I know.
Guys, nice job with that, but it is time to get out of Hollywood and back to reality and time to get into the rest of the show. In just a moment, we'll do Nailed It for week 6. Then we'll share our hot takes, then Stone Cold Locks time. We're still waiting on Pat's final one, but it appears as
Yeah,
if
his
we
Monday
had
pick.
another winning week overall. But I do have one thing I'm a little salty about as it relates to mine. So we'll get to that a little later. And finally, we'll wrap up the show with the top 5, and we'll be sure to go into extra innings for that one. See what I did, guys? That was pretty creative.
Clever.
Yeah. And of course, we'll have plenty of fun and shenanigans along the way, including after years of research and development, Pat will finally unveil his newly patented product that I am certain is going to be a big hit. Yes, everyone, Pat has created a round pizza box because, as he says, pizza is round. Square pizza boxes are stupid. And damn it, I'm going to do something about it. Pat, good for you, brother. I, for one, think it's going to be huge for this country. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen.
It's time.
Brilliant.
It is time. It is time.
Yeah.
Godspeed. Gentlemen, it is time now for the segment Sweeping America. It is time for Nailed It. We are back for week 6. I'll turn it over to Bill in just a moment. But first, just want to remind everyone that we still have the listener competition every single week. Congrats to Jason Waxman for winning week 5 and punching his ticket to the Super Bowl finale edition. It only takes a few minutes each week to submit your guesses. It's free. You could win a trip to Vegas. Why would you not enter? Go to cmansports.com. You'll see a link to the page with a lot more details, including how to enter this week and every week. You just need to be sure to submit your entry before noon Eastern Standard Time each Saturday. All right, Bill, take it away.
Sounds good. All right. I did not do anything kind of as crazy as our Major League Baseball question last week. So we are just going with 5 college football questions this week, boys.
Wow.
There's a bunch of good games. So looking forward to it. All right. So question number 1. If you had told me a few years ago that LSU would be facing another SEC school in a matchup of 2 top 20 teams, of course we would not be surprised, right? LSU, of course. But if I told you that team was Vanderbilt, you would have been like, no way, they're 5-1? What?
Yeah.
Where is this team? Anyway, behind Diego Pavia, these guys have climbed right back into the thick of things again in the SEC. He leads the team in passing at 259 yards per game. No surprise there. But he also leads the team in rushing, you guys. 59 yards per game. That blew me away. Anyway, how many rushing yards will Diego Pavia have versus LSU on Saturday? He averages 59. That's your research. Klett, 42. Bierman, 75. Sanders, 33. All right, let's go LSU defense. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Shut him down. All right, question number 2. Number 5. Did you guys watch this game? Number 5, Ole Miss narrowly escaped Pac-2 powerhouse Wazoo. They were 32.5 point favorites.
That was crazy.
Yeah, they won by 3 points. I mean, that was crazy. This week, though, Ole Miss travels between the hedges to face number 9, Georgia. Georgia's a 7.5 point favorite. The over-under is 48.5. How many total points will be scored in this game? Ole Miss at Georgia between the hedges. Over-under is 48.5. Klett, 52. Sanders, 47. Bierman, 48. Ooh, Bierman got the squeeze.
I changed it from 44 to 48 at the last minute.
I'm glad you did, but we'll see. You never know. Yeah. Question number 3. Okay, Brooks, number 11 Tennessee Volunteers head to Tuscaloosa to face the number 6 Tide, who have been rolling of late. Alabama is 9.5 point favorites. What will be the margin of victory in this one? Tennessee at Bama. Bama is a 9.5-point favorite. Sanders, 17. Klett, 4. Bierman, 6. Ooh, okay. I think that's going to be an interesting game. All right. Question number 4. In one of college football's oldest rivalries, Pat's number 13 ranked ancestors host the number 20 Men of Troy. How many times will the USC band play the dumb Fight On Fight song? Okay, I'm kidding. That's not really the question. That is not really the question.
I was like, are you going to watch it and like do tallies?
Just count. Oh my God, I hate that song. All right. Notre Dame's All-American candidate running back, Julian Love, is only averaging 88 yards per game rushing this season. Meanwhile, USC's Waymon Jordan is averaging 96 yards per game. You don't have to tell me who will have the most yards, but you do have to tell me how many yards will the leading rusher in this game run for. So 88 is Julian Love, 96 is Waymon Jordan. Klett, 127. Woo. Sanders, 108. Bierman, 150. Okay, I did not think I was going to be the low man. All right, and then last but not least, and trust me, boys, we did not save the least for last, okay? Because we have the Dogs of Montlake traveling to Ann Arbor, Michigan to face the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, baby.
Somehow, you guys, I got to bitch for a second. My Dogs are 5-1. They lost to the number 1 team in the nation, Ohio State, and we're not even in the top 25. Ridiculous. I don't know if you guys saw this. On Friday, we played Rutgers. No one watched because we were all watching Game 5 of the Mariners. So nobody watched this game. In fact, I had buddies at Husky Stadium watching on their phones the Mariners game. So Damon Williams Jr. is the quarterback for Washington. He went for over 400 yards passing and 168 yards rushing in that game, accounted for 4 total touchdowns. One of the best statistical games in the history of UW and college football from the quarterback position. Michigan could not contain USC this past weekend, as Eric will tell you. So will they hold down Damond? How many combined yards will Damond go for? He averages 271 yards passing and 64 yards rushing, which is a total of 335 yards per game. How many combined yards? Damond Williams. Klett, 356. Sanders, 408. Bierman, 320. I think that's going to be an interesting question. If they shut down Damond, Michigan wins that game going away. So we will
I couldn't
see.
believe Michigan is favored in that game by like.
I was a little surprised, but it's home.
Yeah,
it's home.
Michigan's terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
Do they have a football team?
No, and it's all because of you. You put a curse on them a few weeks ago.
That's right.
I hope you can curse them one more time for me, Klett. We need to get to 6-1. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, well, good luck, everybody.
Good job, man.
It.
Those were awesome questions. So should be another great weekend of college football. Well, hey guys, now let's get into hot takes. Yes, that's right. It's time for CMN Sports Hot Takes, brought to you by Double Take Salsa. Double Take is not your average salsa. It's craft salsa and hot sauce made with fresh, high-quality ingredients and built on the philosophy of flavor first, heat second. Every jar is packed with bold flavor that keeps you dipping. Then comes the heat that makes you do exactly what the name promises, a double take. If you love salsa or consider yourself an aficionado, you have to try this product. Discover why Double Take is the best craft salsa at doubletakesalsa.com or check them out on Facebook and Instagram. All right, Mr. Klett, it is hot take time. What do you got?
Hot takes. Well, I think we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but James Franklin gets fired and they have to pay him $49 million. Which, where else can you find a job?
I know.
That you do shitty. Best. You get fired and $49 million. That's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I'm just not going deep into the hot takes this week. I'm just going to give you some quick hitters. Man, the M's. I know you're probably going to talk about this. Bill, but Cal Raleigh, that kid is special.
Mm.
Man,
Jumper.
time to focus on baseball for a couple weeks. A couple of really exciting games. I had to watch that extra inning game the next day. I couldn't stay awake. And then I
was
picked it up in the
insane.
12th inning the next day. I was like, and I was just kind of sitting around. I was like, I wonder who won that game. And then I just turned it right back on. So yeah, some good baseball going on. What else? Oh, I had my 30-year high school reunion this last weekend,
Oh,
guys.
Nice.
how'd that go?
30 years. It was fine. It was good. But
Yeah.
time has definitely changed.
30
people.
years. Jeez.
They're
yeah.
all pretty much the same people, but I didn't recognize half the people there. The other thing I thought was you see these receivers all the time practicing these like circus catches and these stretch catches. They get on the jugs machine and they're always doing this wide like stretch thing. But I saw more balls this weekend dropped when it's at the body. That's the one they should be working on. They're expecting it to the outside shoulder. It comes inside shoulder, or it's supposed to come in the letters, and all of a sudden it's down by the knees, and it just crosses them up a little bit. Those seem to be the toughest catches. So maybe they need to spend a little more time on those at the body catches. Those are really tough. I mean, look, take it from me. I played Nerf football, front yard Nerf football for years. So I know how difficult those are to catch.
Legend.
Yeah, I mean, yes, for sure. The only other thing I'd say is Vikes, kind of a homer statement, but the Vikes need some offensive line help, and particularly center. I was thinking it would be nice if we could get Frank Ragnow out of retirement. He didn't play that long a career. He was the center for the Lions last year.
Yeah,
and
he was great.
I always like to see guys come back to their hometowns to play, or like right now we got Carson Wentz. He was from North Dakota, but he was a big Vikings fan growing up. It'd be cool to see like David Montgomery. It was a Cincinnati kid. It would be cool to have him go back to Cincinnati. I always like these homecoming guys from their hometown, because you really root for those players. We ate at the same restaurants. We played in the same parks. We swam in the same lakes. We're so you kind of feel that connection, and I think that's always nice to see. So if we can get Frank Ragnow out of retirement to shore up that offensive line, that would be my hope. So this is my quick hitter hot takes. JJ,
is he coming
playing?
back soon, or
I think he practiced all week, but I think they're gonna have him be on the bench behind Wentz until he messes it up, because we got a tough stretch coming up here. So there's a good chance you'll see McCarthy in a few weeks.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, he's fun. All right, so boys, I mean, I texted you guys this. I don't know if there has been a better Seattle sports weekend ever in the history of Seattle sports. I'm just going to rattle through these things real quick, because probably nobody cares except for us in Seattle. But Damon Williams, absolutely epic game. Huskies destroy Rutgers on Friday. Mariners, epic 15-inning victory. Game 5, must win. Detroit. First pitch of the game, opposite field. We're like, oh no, this is not going to go well. We're going against Tarek Skubal. Mariners already beat the guy 3 times this year. So they beat Tarek Skubal 4 times. Now, he didn't take the losses in every one of those games, but the Mariners did win all 4 games that they played against the Cy Young Award winner. Unbelievable game. And I Pat, you just mentioned you watched it. I mean, there were like 70 chances from each team to win the game, and somehow the Mariners squeaked that out. I thought Big Bill had to have a little something to do with the Mariners hanging on and winning that one. Saturday, Sounders win 1-0. Kraken win, scoring a goal with 3.8 seconds left in overtime. Sunday, Seahawks go to 4-1 Jacksonville, travel all the way across the country, destroy Jacksonville, have a zillion sacks, shut them down, go to 4-2. The NFC West looks like it's so winnable. M's win game 1 somehow on that short rest in Toronto. And then just today on Monday, when we're recording this, win game 2, 10-3. It's like, I don't know what's happening right now. My Seattle brain cannot process all of the things that are good that are happening to us at this point in time. So just don't pinch me. Don't want to wake up. Can we get to a World Series? Please do it for Grandpa Bill. And that's it. That's all my hot takes.
That is awesome. Who are the Sounders?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're a
that's their
soccer team.
lacrosse. Is
They're a
that your
sound.
lacrosse team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a soccer team out here. Yeah, 1-0, big win, Utah. Or I mean,
No,
Real
dude.
Salt Lake. Yeah.
Dude, that is awesome. I gotta tell you, man. So, I'm from Detroit. I'm much more a Reds fan, than a Tigers fan. But I root for the Tigers. I I was rooting for the Mariners because of you and your dad.
No, I
Straight
appreciate
up,
that.
it's all I
Mhm.
wanted, man. Because when my dad passed away a couple years ago, and that next fall, Michigan won the national title.
Yeah,
And call it corny or whatever, but I want you to experience that same thing with the Mariners because I know, how much it would mean to your dad
it
and
just
you,
yeah.
obviously. So yeah,
It
yeah,
was crazy, just super quick. Friday was game 5. On Saturday, and Marcy's even been saying, like, "Why are you so stoic? Like, the loss of my dad has not hit me yet. It hit me on Saturday, boys.
did it?
I was an emotional mess the entire day. I'm just like, I the fact that I can't text him or I can't talk about it,
Uh-huh.
after is
Uh-huh.
what's hitting me now. But man, I'm enjoying the hell out of this ride. I hope I appreciate that, Eric. I think so many
Yeah,
guys texted me, and we're just Mike Paston and others, and they're just like, man, I have never rooted for the Seattle Mariners, but I want them to do it for you and your dad. So
yeah.
it means a ton, and boy, I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of it until this season's over.
I want to see the Dodgers win.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's like I just love Shohei.
I
Shohei's
love
my guy.
Shohei.
That's awesome.
I mean, their
Yeah.
payroll is only 700
Yeah.
million a year, and so yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's awesome. So, guys, I gonna go off a little off the beaten path on this one. A little blast from the past here, guys. I want to talk a little bit about Todd Marinovich. Do you guys
oh
remember his
Yeah.
story? Yeah.
oh yeah,
Okay.
great. I have
So
a great Todd
basically, I'll
Marinovich
just
story.
bring anyone up to speed who might be listening who may not know the whole story. I think most people do, especially if you're sports fans, at least our age. But basically, this is a kid who was born into a family with a dad obsessed with football. His dad had played in the pros himself, was a strength coach, basically groomed this kid to be a pro football player from the womb. The kid was ultra talented, went to USC in the late 80s, early 90s, eventually a first round draft pick, but he ultimately fizzled in no small part to some drug issues. And his fractured relationship with his dad was very much in the news back then. Well, Todd is now in his mid 50s. He recently just published a book about his upbringing, and I read some excerpts, and I thought some of it was so interesting and such a cautionary tale for so many parents out there, even today. So let me start with this quote from a newspaper article. Okay. It was Marv who caught flack from in-laws critical of punishments such as forcing the 9-year-old Todd to run alongside the car from Huntington Beach to Newport Beach after the boy had not played his best in a basketball game. Sports writers call his son Robo QB and the first test tube athlete. Parenting authorities say his methods signal an important and dangerous trend among upper and middle class parents, overprogramming their children and depriving them of childhood. Child rearing experts say, quote, hot housing or the forced maturing of young children has become a frightening national trend in academic and social life as well as sports. Guys, that article was from the Los Angeles Times, June 17th, 1990. It could have just as easily been written yesterday, and I would have believed every word of it. It's scary stuff, and sadly, much of that has only gotten worse. So just a couple thoughts here, and then I'll get to my kind of hot take point of all of this. But I've been around a lot of youth sports fields over the years, both as a parent and as a fan, and I keep coming back to the same thought. Sometimes the best thing we can do is just let kids play, not because we want them to be great, but because it is fun for them to play the game and they enjoy playing the game. I've seen all kinds. My daughter, Mackenzie, she played one sport, soccer, her entire childhood. She was really good at it. She enjoyed it for most of her run, but frankly, by the end, she was burned out, didn't even want to consider playing it in college, even though she easily could have, and she had some offers. Brady played everything under the sun, never stuck to one sport, but he was happy. Cooper picks and chooses. Some seasons he's in, some seasons he's out. That's fine too. And honestly, I feel good about all three of them. None of them had sports shoved down their throats, which brings me back to Todd Marinovich. So just couple other facts about all this, which is just kind of frightening. So Todd's dad, Marv, he was one of the original worst sports dads, and Todd's new book, lays it all out there. He never made it through a youth football season without Marv interfering, sometimes literally body checking coaches that he didn't agree with. Todd had to bring, quote, Marv-approved versions of cake and ice cream to birthday parties when he was a little boy because sugar was completely off limits. He was put through training regimens similar to what grown NFL players went through. And this was all before he was 10 years old. He practiced almost endlessly. As the article pointed out that I read, parenting experts back in 1990 warned that what Marv was doing was dangerous. And of course, we all know how it ended. USC, the Raiders, addiction, arrest, rehabs. It took Todd decades to finally make peace with his father. He ultimately did before Marv passed away in 2020. So here's the good news, though. Todd has turned his life back around. He doesn't hide from the past. He coaches youth football now. He laughs at the idea of kids practicing 4 or 5 straight hours. He caps his own practices at 40 minutes. He insists on fun first. That's the guiding principle. He knows the damage that can be done when sports turn into obsession. He calls his new approach just being a spectator and watching. Imagine that, just letting your kid have their own experience and letting them enjoy it. So I think that's the lesson here, and I think that's the hot take. Look, every kid is different. Every parenting approach is going to be different, and I truly respect that. Maybe a kid will love one sport. Maybe they'll bounce between 10. Maybe they'll quit altogether. But my real hope is that whatever they choose is their choice, and that choice is okay with and fully accepted by their parents. And that choice is because they are having fun, not because they hope they eventually can make money off of it. The job isn't to build the next first rounder. It's to raise a kid who's happy, healthy, and still wants to throw a ball around when they're 30. Marv Marinovich pushed so hard, he broke his kid. Todd Marinovich is now telling us not to make the same mistake. And that, I think, is worth listening to.
Yeah, once my kids, I realized they weren't turning pro, I stopped yelling at them.
Tough, man. I've seen
yeah.
it's I don't know. I've seen some scary things, and I don't.
I've been around it. It's gross.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this, but can you see that?
I see some of it.
All I purple.
Yeah.
Famous
what
quote from Todd Marinovich. Huskies beat him 31-0 in the early 90s, and that quote has been circulating ever since. All I saw was purple, and it's so I always think fondly of Todd Marinovich because of that day in Husky Stadium. But what a cool story, Eric, to bring forward, because as a coach of youth athletics for 30 years almost now, I tell you what, it is the parents that ruin it 100% of the time. And I've seen so many talented kids come and go that are miserable and don't enjoy the sport, and it's because their parents are a-holes.
Exactly.
That's it. Every time. So good for you for bringing that up, and good for Todd.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to hear that he's turned things around.
It made me so happy to read some of that and learn more about him and his life, and that he has turned around. Because, I mean, you guys know he was a mess. I mean, he could have easily ended up dead. I mean, it was scary stuff back then. So yeah, it seems like he's doing really well, and good for him. And I'm glad it worked out in the end for him.
Yeah. Did you say it was a doc, or is it an article? What did you say that you were...
It was an article that I read, but he wrote a book. So there's a book.
It was a book.
I did not, I did not read the whole book. I just read some excerpts from it, but yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice job.
And then real quick, I won't get into all the details because I wrote about this in my most recent six pack, but come on, guys. I have to give love to my favorite coach in the history of the world, Mr. Curt Cignetti. His Hoosiers go into Oregon. Bill's got to be happy about this. Upset the big bad Ducks. This team was 0-46 against top 5 opponents on the road, and only 1-78 against top 5 opponents overall. And again, guys, this team has more losses than any other FBS program. They have 715 losses. Curt Cignetti is incredible. Indiana is for real. They will make the CFP. They have a legit chance to win the whole freaking thing. I'm telling you. And I'm also telling you, if I'm the Penn State athletic director, I am making one call right now, and it is to this guy. I I know this sounds crazy. I honestly don't know if he would leave. He's built something he can sustain in Bloomington. He's already in the Big Ten. So, yes, I understand Penn State has more history and probably more resources, I'm sure, and all that, but he's gonna
Less
make the
pressure.
CFP 2 consecutive years. He's already in the Big Ten. If they come and throw a lot more money at him than IU can, then yeah, he probably will leave. I'm hearing Matt Rule is their number one choice, which to me, Matt Rule is a great. He can do a reclamation project for a team, but they don't need that. They need a guy who can win a big game. I don't know when Matt Rule's ever won a big game, to be honest. So, I don't know. I Curt Cignetti, watching him against Oregon, dude. I don't know if you guys heard his sideline interviews and stuff. I mean, this guy is Nick Saban reincarnated. He is just like Nick Saban, man. He says just the funniest, driest shit. He never smiles. He's oh man, and he's just so good. He is my favorite coach. And honestly, if we were to do this today, I know last week we talked about coaches and I said Dan Lanning number one. I know it's crazy because it's just I might put Curt Cignetti number one now. I know he just beat him, but I'm so impressed with this guy. So impressed with this guy. So
how much do you think Penn State would have to offer?
I mean, I think I don't know. I know what Franklin got bought out, but I don't even know what what does he get paid? $12 million a year, $15 million a year? I don't know what he gets paid annually. And I don't know what Cignetti makes now at Indiana.
I think I heard 7.
Indiana, I mean, they got money. They got money. So they'll pony
it's gonna be 8 figures though, right? 10 million at least a year.
Oh, at least.
Crazy. Good for him.
Unreal.
That's really cool. I believe that I might have called James Franklin last week that he was on the hot seat. Right? Not that was crazy.
Think about that 2-week swing.
He just got fired.
In 2 weeks, you're sitting in the top 5 in the nation, and you're thinking all's good in the world, and then in 2 weeks, you're out. That's crazy.
Did you see after the game? He was mercilessly. Yeah, that he was booed, and he just stood there, staring up into the crowd. And I was like, "Is he soaking this in?" Yeah, it was bizarre. It was so bizarre.
Was it at home or was it at?
Yeah,
it was. At
Penn State.
Oh God.
Yeah, they had no
unbelievable.
They had no choice but to let him go.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
He'll be fine. All right, guys. Well, let's now get into our Stone Cold Lock segment. And we did have another decent week, slowly rounding back into form. Bill once again went 2-1. We are waiting on Pat's. Pat, it looks like you might go 1-2 though. The Bills.
What was? Did you take
Bills could
Buffalo?
tie it up, and then he took the Bills
points?
minus 3.5. You were 1-1.
You still got time.
I mean, they could tie it up and then win in overtime by a touchdown. And guys, I went 1-1-1, but it pisses me off because I actually had a really good week on my best bets. I went 3-1-1, and I just happened to pick the loss and the tie to share on this pod, and I fucking hate it when I do that.
What was your loss and your tie?
The tie was Missouri +3, which they had a chance to. Yeah. And then the other one was close too. NC State was +22.5. They were down by 22, and Notre Dame scored a late touchdown. So it was my, I had those two I could have easily won 5-0, but that's okay. We went 3-1-1. We'll take it. I just wish I would have went better than 1-1-1 here. So our season records now, Bill, you're doing great, 13-8. Pat, 11-9, and I'm treading water. I'm at 9-10-2, but I'm feeling it. Gonna go 3-0 this week. So let's do it. Pat, lead us off.
I'm not gonna pick a Monday nighter.
Okay.
I thought that was a new tradition. Pick the Seahawks are on Monday Night Football. Yeah, all right.
Ooh, yeah. I went Chiefs-Raiders game. Raiders are getting 12.5 points. And I know the Chiefs looked great last week, and they're starting to look scary again. But it's a division game. And I know the Raiders kind of suck, but I feel like maybe Max Crosby will disrupt enough to get a turnover. Something fluky, and I feel like the Raiders will
Division
do it
game.
just enough. Division game, they might cover. So 12 and a
Yeah.
half is it's so many points. When week to
that's a
week,
lot.
you see the Bills were down 21 whatever to the Falcons, or like every week
Yep.
there's these surprise games, and I feel like this could be a close tough one. So give me the Raiders.
Nice.
All right.
I like that one. Guys, the NFC stinks. It stinks. I mean, again, I thought Detroit was going to just mop the floor with Kansas City, and then Kansas City just crushes them. Philly's lost 2 in a row. Yeah. Anyway, crazy. It's a bit of a surprise. I'm going back to Pat's ancestors this week. After losing first 2, they've ripped off 4 in a row.
Yeah, they would.
The defense is starting to play well. USC's traveling to South Bend. I don't see them putting up 30 points. Give me the under 61.5 all day. All day. Notre Dame I still think wins the game, but I just love that under. Under 61.
Under 61.5. Yeah.
61.
Yeah,
yeah.
that Michigan game, like right before it started, I looked and I remember I was just looking at the lines and I remembered you saying that. I was like, you know what? I know I said that I'm not sure, but I'm like, I think he's right. I think it is going to go under, and it did. And I bet some money on it. So
yeah,
good job for that.
Thanks.
Good job for that. All right. So real quick, for those of you who still care about the spreadometer, we have 2 teams. We're down to 2 teams that are undefeated against the spread. And those are Memphis and Texas Tech. And then there's 1 team that is winless against the spread. Not going to surprise you, I don't think. That would be Penn State and Nittany Lions. So, spoiler alert, none of those 3 teams will be on my card this week. We are going to start with Louisville getting 13.5 points at Miami, Florida. Miami is loaded with talent, both sides of the ball. Carson Beck's a Heisman frontrunner at this point. They have several signature wins. They rank in the top 20 in total defense, and there's no chance the Canes don't make the CFP. But giving 13.5 points to Louisville is just too much. Their only loss came in overtime against a ranked 5-1 Virginia team 2 weeks ago. They've had a bye week to recover since then. They will be ready for this game. Quarterback Miller Moss leads a passing offense that ranks top 20, and that is where Miami's defense is most vulnerable. Cardinals wide receiver Chris Bell has totaled 305 yards and 3 touchdowns in his last 2 games. I expect another big day there. Defensively, the Cardinals ranked 12th nationally in yards allowed. And despite what many assume, this Miami offense is not as explosive as last year. They rank only 54th in total yards offensively, and they average under 400 yards per game. Miami will win the game, but getting almost 2 touchdowns to me is too many. We're going to take Louisville in the points.
Okay.
I think that game's Friday night too, right, Eric?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yep. All right,
Nice.
Pat.
Jets getting 1.5 at home against Carolina. The Jets have been terrible, but Carolina they'll go back to being Carolina, and I think the Jets get their first win.
Is this at Jets? Did you say?
It's at Jets. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So the Panthers are a tale of 2 teams. They're undefeated at home and they're terrible on the road.
Yeah.
So
3-3 though. That's shocking.
Yeah, they're 3. Yeah, but it's home and road. I'm telling you, they are a different team for some reason. Bryce just cannot. So if they're at home, look at them. And I bet them last week. They were live underdog, getting 3.5 points. They won the game outright against Dallas. But on the road, they probably will shit the bed even against the Jets.
And my Dallas overs are still hitting.
Man,
I'm just going to remind you every week, Dallas overs all year long.
I threw that into my 5 spot this week, Pat. Thank you for that. Yep.
Nice.
I was
Did you win?
I mean, yeah. Well, I didn't hit. I went 4 for 5 in my picks, but unfortunately. But thanks for the tip. That's been rolling.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've talked quite a bit about James Franklin, but this is just one of those games, boys, where I feel like Penn State absolutely throws the kitchen sink at Iowa. I'm not at all picking Penn State or Iowa, because Iowa, I feel like, is one of those teams over the past 5 years. I cannot figure this team out. Can't do it.
No.
But this game, the over under is 39.5. Give me the over all day, every day. Iowa has been scoring points this year compared to previous years. Penn State is going to do everything. They're going to do trick plays. They're going to do, I mean, this game goes over 50 points, boys. Over 50. This thing is lock central.
My only concern with that, although it could play in your favor, is Drew Allers out for the year. And
but that doesn't matter.
But
he's been terrible.
Yeah.
He's been terrible. They're going to be better off without this All-American quarterback. I know that's crazy to say, but they are going to do flea flickers. They're going to run craziness. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or just
39.5 is such a low. That is a low under. So
no, I did think of the Drew Aller issue as well, but this game just feels like one of those ones where it's going to be crazy special teams points, and they're going to play their asses off. Those Penn State kids are this week too. So
yeah.
All right, let's have some fun.
You boys know I love my MAC games with good teams against bad teams. And we're going back to for this one. Ohio let me down 2 weeks ago when they choked in Muncie against Ball State. But they've had a bye week to regroup, and now they come home to face an atrocious Northern Illinois team. Ohio is favored by 10.5 points. Quarterback Parker Navarro gets the headlines, but honestly, they've actually struggled in the passing game this year. And their running game is where they've thrived, ranking 40th in the nation with 170 rushing yards per game. And guess what? The Huskies are terrible at stopping the run. They rank 97th in the nation in that statistic. On the other side, Northern Illinois is the third worst offense in the country, averaging fewer than 250 total yards per game, even against an average Bobcat defense. You and I won't be able to move it consistently enough to stay close. Ohio sits at 3-3, and while the Ball State loss was just absolutely baffling, their other two defeats came against Big Ten opponents, Rutgers by 3 in Piscataway, and against Ohio State in Columbus. Northern Illinois, meanwhile, is 1-5. Its only win came in week 1 against 0-6 FCS opponent Holy Cross. I love everything about the Bobcats in this space, and will easily give the 10.5.
Before Pat goes for his third, Eric and I are in this pool where you draft NCAA teams. And so every week I go in and I update the standings for this thing. And every week I look at the MAC conference as I go down. I just got to read these things to you guys real quick. Yeah. The best team in the MAC, there's one team has 4 wins, 4-3. Yeah. 3-3 Buffalo, 3-3 Miami of Ohio, 2-4 Ball State, 3-3 Ohio, 3-3 Bowling Green, 3-3 Central Michigan, 2-4 Kent State, which is I think the most wins they've had in like a decade.
I won my over.
Yeah,
I told you guys it was one of my. I won over 1.5.
Nice.
I remember you saying
that. Nice. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. Toledo 3-3, Akron 2-5, Eastern Michigan 2-5, Northern Illinois 1-5, UMass 0-6. This is the worst conference
they're
in
awful.
The history of college football. They're playing each other.
Yeah, they're awful.
What is happening? The number one team in the league has 4 wins. Okay,
well,
that's it.
That's because they all play Big Ten teams the first 3 games of the year, and they just get crossed. But no, I hear you. They're terrible. Dude. They're terrible.
Yeah. Anyway,
but they're fun to watch. Maction's going to be starting up pretty soon. I love Maction. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, you turn on, you see 2
It really is brilliant.
It's freaking brilliant.
There's
I love it.
400 people in the stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, by the way, Bierman, you and I are doing well in that pool.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
All right, boys. Give me Green Bay giving 6.5 versus Arizona. I think Murray's hurt now, and they suck ass anyhow. And the Packers pull away late. And the Packers are built to pull away late. They got Jacobs running the ball. They're a team that can just kind of it might be close till half, and then just watch them pull away.
Arizona stinks.
They're no good.
They stink.
Their defense is okay sometimes, but they're offense just can't get anything going.
I think Kyler Murray's supposed to play this week.
Oh, is he?
I think so. Yeah, but I still love that pick. Yeah. No, well, he
Either
didn't
way.
play last week. Yeah. No, I love that pick. I had that in my honorables. Eric, I also had Louisville.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm with you guys on a couple. It's always crazy to me when we have the amount of games we have to choose from, and
I
then we
know.
have similar. Anyway, brilliant minds think alike, I guess. My third, I'm all over the over-unders. Those have been working, so
Yeah.
I'm sticking with
Yeah.
it. I think Oregon bounces back this week against an absolutely atrocious Rutgers defense. They are so bad, you guys. So bad. I
Yeah.
went back and watched the Husky game. Damond Williams is throwing the ball to a receiver over the middle. There's not a Rutgers guy on the television screen. I'm talking about 15, 20 yards of room. Like what are they doing? I mean, it's just horrible. So I don't think Oregon's going to keep Rutgers under 20 points either, though, because they're okay on offense. So this score is going to be 51-20, something like that. Give me the over 60.5. And I mean, I am way too confident.
60.5.
I am way too confident on these 3 picks this week. Way too
Yeah.
confident. That's a terrible sign. But I mean, I'd be
Yeah.
laying big money in Vegas on these 3 games.
Jeez. Okay.
60 points.
Big.
It's like if they punt
know,
once,
that's a lot.
it's over.
Oregon's going to have 50 points. They're going to have 50
You
of that.
just better hope there's not a punt.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
the
There was a
punters
game.
They don't even suit up. Don't even suit up, punters. They don't need them this week.
All right, for my third pick, I'm going with an AAC battle. I'm taking the Florida Atlantic Owls plus 21.5 points at South Florida. South Florida's been one of the surprise stories of the season. They sit at 5-1, solid wins over Boise, Florida, and last week's victory at 5-1 North Texas. They have a great run game, and they'll be able to take advantage of FAU's porous run defense. FAU's run defense is very bad. However, I really like the Owls getting this many points. Quarterback Caden Velkamp has been awesome all year long. He ranks 8th in the nation in passing yards, while Florida Atlantic actually sits 5th nationally in passing offense. And that's exactly where they can attack South Florida. That is South Florida's weakness, is they rank 109th in defending through the air. Even if the Owls fall behind early, I'm confident they can throw their way back into covering this large spread. USF is coming off an emotional road win. They have a massive showdown with undefeated Memphis on deck next week, which I think they could be peaking ahead toward. This is the perfect setup for the Owls catching this many points, and I love Florida Atlantic here getting the 21.5.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, good luck. Hopefully we go 9-0. Let's get into today's top 5. And with that wild 15-inning game that the Mariners played the other night, it got me thinking about just some of the greatest overtime and extra inning games in sports history. There's just something different about games that need some extra bonus time to be decided. You got the pressure, the exhaustion, the urgency. You can just feel the drama building with every snap, every pitch, every possession. So for this week's top 5, we're looking back at the greatest overtime or extra inning games of all time. It can be any sport, any era, college, pro, playoffs, regular season. As long as it went past regulation, it is fair game. Each of us can only pick one homer pick, though. All right, Pat, get into it. Number 5 and 4.
All right, number 5. I went with the Super Bowl 51, Atlanta 28-3 up against the Patriots. It went to overtime. I wouldn't say overtime was exciting. I mean, it was just they win the coin toss, and they march down, and Atlanta's stunned at this point. But so the overtime wasn't exciting, but it was an overtime game, and it was one of the most historic ones that we've ever had.
Yes,
So that was my number 5. And number 4 was the Boise State Oklahoma Fiesta Bowl.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
we mentioned it in
call.
like greatest college games, but that one was overtime. You got Adrian Peterson in Oklahoma playing against Boise, and then you got the Statue of Liberty plays, and then you got the kid who scores and immediately goes down on one knee and proposes.
Yeah,
like,
nice.
So much. Yeah, that was Boise's like coming out party. That was a great game.
Yeah, that was a good one. So that was my 5 and 4. Bill?
Nice.
Love it.
Yeah, I went Super Bowl 51 as well. So 2 Pat there. And I actually in my notes I said the same thing, Pat, as you. It wasn't so much known as for the overtime as just the Atlanta choke job. I kind of had forgot that they were ahead 28-3 so late in the game. I just thought the
Oh,
second
yeah.
half in my memory was kind of like they slowly marched back in. It was really the fourth quarter. I mean, that they battled back. They were down 28-9 in the fourth. So anyway, pretty amazing comeback there. That was my number 4, actually. But my number 5 was the 2022 AFC divisional round. This game, it just popped right into my brain, and I went and looked it up. But the Chiefs 42, Buffalo 36. There were 3 lead
Oh,
changes in the final
yeah.
2 minutes. And this is what blew me away, is I remember it being late, but Josh Allen puts Buffalo ahead with 13 seconds left. And then Patrick Mahomes takes the Chiefs 44 yards, Harrison Butker field goal. He did it, what was it, in 10 seconds? They went 44 yards, tied it up, and then Mahomes to Kelce in overtime. So just an amazing football game.
That's the game that they claim
changed the overtime rules.
Changed the rules. Yeah, that's right.
That's the only good thing that came out of that game.
Yeah, that's my 5 and 4.
Yeah.
How about you, EB?
Yeah. So, all right, guys. So real quick for me, I often like to add criteria to help me narrow these down. So each of my 5 are from different sports, and every single one had to be in the playoffs, meaning you just had that much more on the line. So we're going to start with baseball, my number 5. And this does not count as my homer pick because I wasn't living in Cincinnati at the time, and the Reds lost. But I have to go with one of the most iconic extra inning games of all time, Game 6, 1975 World Series. The Red Sox win 7-6 in 12 innings on Carlton Fisk's walk-off home run off the left field pole at Fenway, where he's waving the ball to stay fair. It's probably one of the most replayed moments in sports history. It was an enduring symbol of postseason baseball drama. And while it was an incredible game, thankfully the good guys won in Game 7, and the Big Red Machine got their first ring. My number 4, it's funny because I have a 4A and a 4B just in case for football. My 4A was the Chiefs 42, Bills 36.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that game was just
insane.
It was incredible. I mean, the first 3 quarters were good, but the fourth was legendary. You said everything. I mean, they 4 lead changes just in the last 2 minutes, back and forth. It was crazy. And then 13 seconds. That's all Mahomes needed. And then, the overtime rules basically were changed because of that. Gabriel Davis finished that game with 201 yards and 4 touchdowns, an NFL playoff record.
Crazy.
So I will just go with one that I think is right up there, that I've talked about before. I think I'm going to go with 1986 AFC Divisional, Broncos 23, Browns 20. In overtime, the drive game. This is where Elway marched 98 yards in the final minutes to tie the game, and then Denver won in overtime on a field goal. So that's my number 4.
Nice.
Yeah, Bernie Kosar, right? Was it Bernie?
Bernie Kosar, Clay Matthews Sr. on defensive side. They had who was
Ernest
Biner? The running back's name? Ernest Biner.
Yeah, was Kevin Mack was another.
Okay, I was thinking Thomas
guy.
Mack.
Kevin Mack.
Kevin Mack.
So
what a game! I forgot that went into OT.
Yeah.
Like you, Bierman, I tried to spread it around a bunch of different sports. So my number 3 is Tiger Woods and Rocco Mediate in the 2008
I
US
thought
Open.
About golf. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah,
he's got a bad leg. Tiger's got a bad leg. They have to come back Monday for an 18-hole head-to-head playoff. Yeah, it's a good one.
And it went to the 19th hole.
Yeah.
Oh
my God. Yeah. That's good.
They were still tied. Yeah.
I don't think I watched that Monday one. I think I had like work or something, but I remember being like, oh, it's an 18-hole playoff tomorrow. Are you kidding me? But and then my number 2, I have Roger Federer versus Rafa Nadal, Wimbledon 2008. Okay. Almost 5 hours. It went to 9-7 in the 5th set.
Jeez.
And to decide it, 2 absolute legends putting on a show.
So good.
There was also a match at Wimbledon years later, maybe 6, 7, 8 years later, but it was John Isner and Nicholas Mahut that went over 3 days. And it was like 78, 76.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What?
Are
you serious?
It went on forever. I mean, John Isner, big, tall server.
Yeah.
This guy couldn't break his serve. And that went on. It went on for like 3 days. I mean, they had breaks, obviously. It was like, it's too dark. We'll come back the next day. It went on forever. But anyway, so since then, like Bill, you were saying earlier, that overtime, the Bills Chiefs changed the overtime. Now in most of the tennis majors, there's a tiebreaker, some format of a tiebreaker, instead of letting them go on as long as they need to. But yeah, Federer and Nadal was 9-7 in the fifth to decide it. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. What about you, Bill? 3-2?
Yeah, 3-2 for me. Another 2, Pat. I went with the 2008 U.S. Open. Thing that differs from Pat a little bit is that I actually called in sick on Monday and met a bunch of buddies at a restaurant in Bellevue, just down the street from my office, and we watched the entire 19 holes. And I mean, Rocco Mediate gave Tiger everything he wanted in that playoff. It was awesome theater. He was joking around. Tiger was dead serious. He's limping. I mean, and what the other thing that I just add that I had forgot was that was 2008. Tiger did not win his next major until 2019 at the Masters.
Yeah.
So 11 years after that was the span. So anyway, that was pretty fascinating. This game to me, boys, it's my number. That was my number 2, actually. My number 3, you guys will remember this game if you don't have it on your list. The 2009 Big East tournament. Syracuse against UConn.
I used to love watching the Big East.
6 overtimes. 6 overtimes.
And Kemba Walker?
Kemba Walker, Johnny Flynn. Pat, I was like, oh, Pat's going to have bad memories of Johnny Flynn because the Timberwolves drafted Johnny Flynn 1 pick before Steph Curry in the NBA draft that next year. So obviously that was not the pick that the Timberwolves would have wanted in hindsight. But just what a basketball game. I mean, the guys just battling. There's a couple interesting tidbits in this. Syracuse did not have a lead in the first 5 overtimes. That's crazy. That's crazy.
What?
Yeah. I saw this today when I was doing it, or yesterday when I was doing
research.
That is
crazy.
That is crazy. And then they ended up winning the game by 10 points in the 6th overtime. So, guys were just
Could you imagine betting that game? And then, because I'm sure the line was less than 10. So if you have who are they playing? UConn? If you have UConn plus the points, and then it goes into 6 overtimes, and then you end up losing. Oh my God!
All-time bad beat. Bad beat. Yeah. Anyway, what a game. That was a great college game. And watching the replay yesterday of some of the highlights, there were guys I was like, oh my God, I forgot that trash talking white guy, Eric Devendorf for Syracuse, drove me crazy. There was another guy named Andy Routens. His dad played in the NBA. Really good shooter.
I remember that game. I literally remember watching that.
Crazy.
Game. That was
Madison Square Garden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? 3-2.
Yeah, so for my number 3, guys, I watch less NBA than any other sport, but I will occasionally tune in during the playoffs. And this game is just one of the most legendary ever, primarily because of how long it went. And it's not all that long ago. I'm actually talking about the 2019 NBA playoffs game 3 between the Portland Trailblazers and the Denver Nuggets. Listen to this. So the series was tied 1-1. It was played in Portland. The game ended up going into 4 overtimes. It was the longest NBA game in 57 years. Neither team led by more than 8 points all night. There were 24 lead changes, 14 ties. Damian Lillard struggled for much of the game. He finished with 28 points, but he went 10 of 24 shooting. CJ McCollum was sensational. He scored 41 points, carried Portland for long stretches of that game. On Denver's side, Jokic was a monster, 33 points, 18 rebounds, 14 assists. But he also played 65 minutes, the most in any NBA game since 1953.
Wow.
With the game tied in the 4th overtime, Rodney Hood, who had barely played the first 3 overtimes, checked in and immediately became the hero. He hit back-to-back buckets, then drilled a step-back 3 with 17 seconds left to put Portland ahead for good, 138-136. It was the first 4 overtime NBA playoff game since 1953. 7 players logged 45 or more minutes, 3 topped 60. The game lasted over 4 hours and ended at nearly 2 a.m. Eastern time. And side note, Portland went on to win the series in 7 games, reaching the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2000.
Wow.
And then it was a great game, great NBA overtime game. For my number 2, I'm going to go to college basketball. There were so many good choices here. I did not think of the Syracuse game. That was a great one. But I'm going to go back to 2008 and the championship game between Kansas and Memphis, where KU won 75-68 over Calipari's Tigers in OTA. I just love this game. I was rooting for Kansas throughout because I actually had them in the brackets.
I was rooting for. I was on the opposite end. I was rooting for Memphis. Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah, they were trailing late, but Chalmers hit that clutch 3-pointer with 2.1 seconds left to tie the game. And then kind of like what you were talking about with some of the overtime games previously, Kansas dominated the extra session to win the title. So the overtime itself wasn't anything special, but just the game to get there certainly was. Memphis missed 4 free throws in the final minute of regulation to even allow Chalmers' shot to mean anything. So just a great memorable ending for a championship game. So
that cost me so much money.
Broke a lot of hearts. And yeah.
All right, number 1, Pat.
Well, it's my homer pick. It's the Twins. Blackjack Morris.
Twins. Yeah,
1991. 10 innings.
All day.
They win 1-0. I think the pitch count was like they were going to pull him if he got to 150 pitches. I mean, he's just out there working.
Yeah.
You could see him
working
hard all game. Gutsy. Yeah, it's fantastic. Greatest game. Greatest team.
That's the best. It'll never happen anymore, too.
I was going to say,
these guys.
Yeah, and the other thing I was saying is that, and I thought you were going to say it'll never happen in Minnesota. Like the 4 majors, that's our last championship of the 4 major sports, and it's been a while, and I'm ready. I'm ready to celebrate something. So
I don't blame you. Mariners have never been to the World Series, Pat. So I think they might be the only Major League Baseball team in that situation. So, but that was an amazing game. Amazing game.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it Tom Kelly? Is that the old manager?
Tom Kelly.
TK.
Mm-hmm.
TK and then Ron Gardenhire. Were those? I mean, the Twins have just been so good through the years. Like kind of every so often.
Was Herbie in that? Ken Herbeck was still playing.
Herbeck.
Right?
Ken Herbeck.
I love Ken.
Gene Larkin.
Ken Herbeck.
Gene Larkin hit the walk-off. Dan Gladden scored from third.
Oh, Dan Gladden.
Dan Gladden. My mom loved Dan Gladden. It's like, we'd tell her. She'd be in the kitchen and we'd be like, Dan Gladden's up. She'd be like, ooh. Run out. She didn't know anything about baseball, but that Dan Gladden.
Run in there.
Yeah, and just run out.
That's awesome.
Good team.
Well, my number 1 is also my homer pick. Won't surprise anybody, but 1995 Game 5 ALCS, Mariners versus Yankees. M's had fallen behind 2-0 in New York, came back home, played 3, 4, and 5 in the Kingdome. My sister went with my dad to Game 3. I don't remember why, but I couldn't go. Game 4 went to Huskies Irish, and then hustled my ass down there after Notre Dame won, like super last minute. I was all distraught. Got down to the Kingdome, parked like 2 miles south of the Kingdome, and ran to the Kingdome, and then up to the 300 level. Mariners win Game 4. But Game 5, Blackjack McDowell in after Randy Johnson had given up 1 run in the top of the 11th. And then Edgar Martinez hits the double, as it's known in Seattle. Joey Cora walks in from third. Ken Griffey just flies around the bases, scores, pig pile. Bill 3 and Bill 4 jump hug in the 300 level. Just the greatest sports event of my lifetime, will never be topped. And so that has to be my number 1. Mariners in the 11th inning win Game 5.
I'm just picturing Bill doing a 2-mile sprint to get to this game.
I mean, well, back then I was fit. But it was.
I to imagine in my head. I like to see this as you now running 2 miles,
2:15
to get to the game,
trying to get there. Oh my God, I'd die. And then up to the 300 level in the Kingdome, they had those long walkways that you'd go like back and forth. That was the only way to get up to the 300 level. So it was just still running, trying to get there. I think I got there in this bottom of the 2nd inning, if I remember right. So yeah, crazy.
Yeah, well, my number one is also my homer pick. It was an easy one for me. Might go down as my favorite game of all time, period. 2023 college football playoff semifinals in the Rose Bowl, Michigan against Alabama, Harbaugh versus Saban, and what would end up being Saban's last game on the sideline. After winning, Michigan would face Bills Washington Huskies a week later and win their first national championship since 1997. But with all due respect to UW, this felt like the national championship to me, and I'll never be able to really explain the feeling I had when Michigan stopped Milroe on 4th and goal to win the game. It was crazy because even before then, Michigan was down by 7. It was 4th and 4, I believe, on their own 30-yard line, and it was going to be the end of the game. If Michigan did not get that first down, Alabama was going to be able to run the clock down, kick a field goal, put it out of reach. But McCarthy threw a little screen to Blake Corum, who scampered 40 yards. There was an incredible catch by Roman Wilson to keep the drive going later. Wilson also caught the tying touchdown pass. And then, of course, it had to be Blake Corum in overtime scored our touchdown. And then we stopped Milroe on 4th and goal. But after we tied it, before it went into overtime, we tied the game. There was like a minute left. We kick off Atlanta. We stop Alabama. They punt the ball with like 12 seconds left. And our Michigan guy muffed the punt, and it almost was a safety with a few seconds left, but instead he fell on it, literally on the half-yard. And we still had to run the ball twice to end regulation. And I am a nervous wreck. I mean, it was
How many years shaved off your life?
It was awful.
In that 12 seconds?
Seriously, dude, it was all my heart could take. And I was screaming, just sneak it. Just say, they're actually handing the ball off to Corum in the end zone. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
Bill, is Milroe got any playing time in Seattle this year? They got any exotic packages for him or anything?
He got in a couple games ago and fumbled on. Sorry, okay. They ran an option to the left side of the field and he pitched it, but it was behind whoever, Kenneth Walker the third or whatever. But I haven't seen him since then. So but he's been sprinkled in here or there. I don't know, guys. I don't see it with him. I love his athleticism. But,
I think he's athletic, but I don't know if he's an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see. Bierman, that game, you mentioned earlier too, just thinking of our dads. I had forgot that your dad passed so close to that. So it definitely takes the sting off of that one for me. Just knowing that meant so much to you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy when your dad passes, and your dad and my dad were similar in the sense of our relationships with them. Sports was such a focal point and a bonding and unifying point, and those things mattered. I mean, so like what you said, I would text him a little. He wasn't a huge texter, but he did. But I'd call him. We'd talk about stuff. I still remember when Michigan lost to Michigan State on that punt thing. I called my dad, and my dad was like, "I love you, kid, but I can't talk right now."
You're like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I did either. I just was like it was awful.
How about we both just sit here on the phone crying and we won't say a word?
yeah, that was a bad one. But anyways, guys, that was awesome. Some really good games there. So thanks for sharing. Bill, you got anything you want to share? I know we're well into full swing in football. Any pools you want to talk about?
A couple quick ones. It's just, if people are jonesing to get in something, there's a $10 8-spot pool, which the pot is getting gigantic. However, the one caveat is, because of the carryovers, every entry is now $70, not $10.
Oh my God.
So I've been actually considering rewinding that back to $10 entries just so we can try to get a winner in this thing. But I don't know what you guys both think.
I wouldn't do that. I don't think. I wouldn't do that.
I know. I don't know if I can. But anyway, so there is the 10 spot or the 8 spot pool, which is $70 per entry. We also have golf coming up in a couple weeks. It's a really cool golf course. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch it last year. It's called Black Desert. It's in Utah. It's just a really cool, unique course carved into this like lava fields in Utah. So that'll be a top 25 pool that we run for $25.
Nice.
And then the one that I was really going to highlight though today is we're going to launch another Survivor Spreads reload.
Oh,
so those are really popular. So if anybody's missing Survivor, we'll be popping another one of those probably starting in week 8 next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, guys, it was another super fun show. Thank you both for bringing it so strong as you always do. Of course, thank you to everyone in CMA Nation for joining us and listening. We appreciate you and love you. Be sure to check us out at cmansports.com or follow us on social media. We'd all love to keep it going tonight, but sadly, it is time to exit Sandman Sports. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy the games. Peace out and take care.
Good luck, everybody.